Recording in progress.
Okay. Bore da.
Good morning. I'm Councillor Eva Lloyd. I'm the Premier of the Council. I welcome you today to this special meeting, which is a hybrid meeting. The meeting will be live streamed and recorded and will be available for viewing after the meeting. Should the live streaming fail, the meeting will continue and a recording will be available through the Council's website following the conclusion of the meeting. Can I remind members that translation facilities are available, and for those attending on Zoom to choose the language of choice. For those wishing to speak in the chamber, please raise your hand. For those on Zoom, please use the raised hand function. We will alternate between speakers within the chamber and on Zoom. For those attending remotely, please note that those in the chamber will be unable to use the chat facility. Committee members who are attending remotely are required to leave the camera on throughout the debate and when voting in order to maintain the integrity of the decision-making process. If you do need to leave the meeting temporarily, pop a message in the chat function so the Democratic Services Officer is aware, and then let us know when you return. I expect everyone present and participating in this meeting to conduct themselves appropriately and be respectful to each other. That applies to members, officers and members of the public. Item 1, apologies. Apologies for absence, Shannon.
Apologies received from councillors Frank Bradfield, Sam Cotton, Keith Eales, Gail Jones, Thomas Montgomery and Austin Roberts. Are there any others? No, thank you.
Diolch yn fawr iawn chi.
Thank you.
Eitem 2.
Item 2, declarations of interest. Local Government's Code of Conduct.
Na, neb. Diolch yn fawr. Eitem 3, materion
Item 3, urgent matters. Not aware of any, thank you.
Eitem 4.
Item 4, I'll change to the English.
Item 4, notice of motion from the Conservative Group that the leaders request the Wales Audit Office to review the decision-making processes behind the work to install the new 3G pitch at Parc Eirias, pages 3 to 6. Councillor Cheryl.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you for agreeing to our meeting request to hear this important notice of motion and my subsequent proposal. The purpose of today's meeting is to invite impartial scrutiny from an outside organisation to answer the many questions posed by both residents and members. We've brought this notice of motion because of 3 areas of concern: transparent governance, financial due diligence and transparent democracy. There are 5 questions that the Wales Audit Office need to answer in order to address these valid concerns. These are also the questions that should form the basis of the report coming to Finance and Resources Scrutiny. Question 1. Any spend over £500,000 have to be democratically approved by full council. Why wasn't the £620,000 spend on the 3G pitch at Parc Eirias approved in this way? The second question. When councillors reviewed the capital business cases this spring as part of this year's budget setting process, the Levelling Up Fund match funding was reduced on the understanding that the Eirias bid wasn't going forward. So it is unclear where and how it was decided that the Conwy Council contribution could be utilised for a new pitch despite failure to secure 20 million grant funding. When was this decision taken and by whom? Question 3. Why has the finance in the spend to save business case that has not been through democracy been financed over 15 years when the pitch only has an estimated lifespan of some 8 years, or do we have a guarantee for longer? Again, there has been no scrutiny of the financial viability of this project. Question 4. Without the proposed Eirias stand improvements, how does this spend stack up economically, especially given the government's official feedback on the failed Levelling Up Fund bid around the future economic benefits? And question 5, if a proposed spend of £620,000 had come to democracy, would it have been prioritised and supported given Conway's current and future economic situation? Thank you. And I shall read the notice of motion, which I propose that the leader request the Wales Audit Office review the decision-making processes behind the work to install the new 3G pitch at Park Areas. This work was budgeted to cost £720,000, and as you will be aware, capital expenditure costing more than £500,000 is required to be approved by council. We are very concerned that this work did not obtain democratic approval to proceed separately from Conwy County Borough Council's levelling up fund bid for the Clwyd West constituency. We are also concerned that the decision to undertake this work after the failure of Conway's LUF bid for Clwyd West without referring the matter to council deprived elected members and the public of the opportunity to participate in the decision-making process. It is unclear whether this work would have received democratic approval as a standalone project without financial support from the UK government. Furthermore, we are concerned that the decision-making process may have been unconstitutional and that this represents a breakdown of the council's governance arrangements. In addition to the above, we are concerned that there's not been proper scrutiny of the impact of funding this work through Leisure Services revenue budget. We have concerns that the loan to fund the work will last 15 years, although the pitch's guarantee is only 8 years. Councillor Gareth Jones queried pitch maintenance costs at the council meeting 14th July 2022 and was told that the Strategic Director of Finance and Resources did not have this information available but would share it at a later date. Whilst we're grateful of the decision to provide Finance and Resources Overview and Scrutiny Committee with a report detailing the decision-making processes behind this work, we believe that this should be reviewed externally. Further details of our concerns around the democratic oversight of this work are set out in the enclosed document, which I'm sure you'll all have read. So I propose this notice of motion. Thank you very much, Chair, for your indulgence.
Thank you very much. And do I have a second of that for that, please? Cynghorydd Gareth. I'm referring this matter to the Finance and Resources Overview and Scrutiny Committee for consideration and determination without any further discussion in accordance with the Rule 15, Section 4 of the Council Procedure Rules. I've checked the forward work programme and due to the availability of officers and cabinet members, the motion will be addressed by that committee on the 4th of September. Thank you everyone for your attendance and I now formally close the meeting. Diolch yn fawr chi. Can I just remind people that we have a code of conduct training session beginning in...
I'll give everybody 5 minutes.
Okay, in 5 minutes. Diolch yn fawr.
Chair, my hand's up. And
Thanks, Chair. Ta-ra.
Chair, my hand has been up for the last couple of minutes.
Sorry, Councillor Anne, no further discussion. The meeting is
It's not a
closed.
discussion. It was a point of order I wanted to raise.
Okay, I'll pass you over to...
Yeah, Chair, if councillor can point out what the point of order is, what either matter of law or procedure she considers needs to be addressed.
Yeah, thanks very much, monitoring officer. I think my point of order is around, I've reviewed the constitution and in terms of if the chair wants to refer this back to one of our committees, I think it actually can be referred back to 2 committees. So my point of order is I think this ought to be referred not only to Finance and Resources, but to a joint meeting of Finance and Resources and Audit and Governance, because clearly there are issues, alleged issues that consider the remit of both committees. Thanks for hearing me. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr, and I believe that will be done in the Scrutiny Committee.
Chair, if the Scrutiny Committee considers that is a recommendation that they wish to put forward, then they will be able to do that once the matter is scrutinised on the 4th of September.
Thank you for raising that, Councillor Anne, and I now formally close the meeting. Diolch yn fawr.